Hi again, it's Mark Sampson here from Coachbetter, and welcome to another one of our World Cup semi-final previews. And tonight we're looking ahead to the much anticipated clash between the surprise team of the tournament in Morocco and probably on paper at the moment the tournament favourites France. So how will this game look and what can we expect to see? Well, let's start tactically, and France have been in the main pretty consistent with their structure and their selection. Although they made a number of changes for the third group game, having already qualified, in the main their selection has been pretty consistent. And that's been a goalkeeper, defensive line of 4, 2 holding midfield players, a number 10, 2 wide players and a centre forward. But then in possession, that converts with Griezmann pulling about wider to be an active number 8, and either Rabiot or the other centre midfield player pushing higher to give them a one pivot shape and structure in the possession phase. Morocco, similar, but obviously going to be a lot more compact. So a back 4, midfield 3 single pivot, 2 wide players and 1 lone striker. But I think what we can expect to see from them is the tactics they've adopted most of the tournament. So try and be as compact as possible, both vertically and horizontally, and probably in the main allow France to move forward with the ball up until what we call an interaction line, which I think would be roughly around that edge of that centre circle D. So at that point they will start to engage France and put some pressure on the ball. What Morocco have done very well so far is, although their engagement line has been pretty deep, and let's call it a mid-block they've adopted, they've managed to stay compact by keeping a very high defensive line. So the distance from the deepest defender to the furthest forward has always been pretty close. Just like the Saudi Arabian team did early in the tournament. Small gaps between units and players, keeping that defensive line very high and close to the initial line of engagement. Now that's been super successful so far because what they've managed to do is keep good distances between their units. So not allow teams or players to receive the ball either in between lines or do very well to limit the amount of passes they can play in behind, and they can manage to control that space as well. So what will we see from France? I think what we'll see from France is them looking to consistently ask Morocco questions about how high can they actually keep that defensive line. And one weapon to do that is with runs and direct balls in behind, particularly on an angle. So I think we can look forward to seeing from France balls from the right-hand side to the left-hand side to try and get Kylian Mbappe either in behind Morocco's defensive line or one-on-one with their fullback facing the opponent's goal, which, as we know and we've seen, is a super dangerous situation. Now, how that running behind affects Morocco was highlighted significantly in this Portugal game. What we can see here is a typical Moroccan defensive setup. So we can see that engagement line now starting to be reached. They might consider to start to put pressure on the ball. But we can see a high defensive line, but very close to that midfield line. So the space in between the lines is very, very small for those Griezmanns, Dembélés and Mbappés to get on the ball and face forward. So what we'll see in this clip, and keep our eye on how Felix, is how the impact of a running behind adjusts the Moroccan defensive line to free up some room in between the lines. So watch the run from the wide area. And this is the impact. That run from out to in with a real threatening run behind forces the Moroccan defensive line to drop deeper, which now means much more space in between the lines. And I think that's what we'll see tonight. You know, France making runs, unselfish runs in behind the defensive line to free up that space in between the lines. Now, one player of the tournament who's probably gone a little bit under the radar has been Antoine Griezmann. You know, brilliant from start to finish in every single game. He's had a major impact. And this quote from Didier Deschamps, the manager, sums up why he's a Diego Simeone player. Because not only is he so effective in the offensive phase by creating goals and scoring goals and providing key passes and dribbles, but he is unbelievable in the defensive phase, particularly in the defensive transition moments. You watch Griezmann tonight. Already he's regained the ball on average 5 times per match for his French team. And I think tonight we're going to see that even more exemplified in those moments when France lose the ball in the final third or in the middle third. And Griezmann, as a Simeone player, also is well aware of the dark arts. He either wins the ball back and starts a counter-attack, or he commits an early tactical foul which stops one of Morocco's biggest weapons, the counter-attack. So, the type of situation we may well see tonight is this. Morocco in their defensive phase, and this example here, all 10 outfield players behind the ball. So even if that cross does come in the box, they've got a significant numerical advantage to defend that situation. Now, where France will have to be adept and where Griezmann could be a weapon for them is that when Morocco win the ball back, they're going to look to spring a counter-attack because they know it's a key weapon for them to score a goal. And what happens when you spring a counter-attack is you have to commit players forward. So we can see in this example here, 1, 2, 3, 4 Moroccan players have committed forward to the counter-attack. And what can we see now? Suddenly only 6 behind the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white jerseys against 6 players. A significant difference from a 4 versus 10 situation. And Griezmann could be key to that, initiating that counter press and then allowing France to spring on the counter attack. So, how do I see this game going? I can only see one winner. I can only see France winning this game and getting themselves through to a final against Argentina. But Morocco will make it significantly difficult for them, like they have every team this tournament. They've only conceded 1 goal so far, and France are yet to keep a clean sheet. So you'd have to back Morocco and the evidence to say Morocco might get a goal. And if that's the case, suddenly then it's really going to be a test of France's mentality and quality. Super looking forward to this one. Hope you enjoy the game.